about telecommunication and networking. According to the Google, telecommunication involves sending messages for the purpose of communication, and also it is a general term for a vast array of technologies that send information over distances. Yung mga example po nito yung mga cellphone, yung mga telephone, yung mga computer, or any gadgets na magko-communicate sa mga tao over distances or mga information. And it is also a complete single telecommunications circuit and consists of two stations, each equipped with a transmitter and receiver. Sinasabi nito at ang transmitter and receiver pwede siyang i-combine sa isang single device na tinatawag nating transceiver. At ang medium of signal naman, transmission, pwede siyang electrical wire or cable, also known as copper, optical fiber, or electromagnetic fields. The free space transmission and reception of data by means of electromagnetic fields is called wireless. The simplest form of telecommunications takes place between two stations. However, it is common for multiple transmitting and station to exchange data among themselves. Such an arrangement is called a telecommunication network. Largest example on a smaller scale. So it is some examples na mga company or networks. Ito yung mga corporate and academic wide area network, telephone networks, police and fire communication systems, taxi cab and dispatch networks, groups of amateur radio operators. Sila yung mga ilan lamang sa mga groups or mga company na nagbibigay ng information sa ating mga tagapakinig. So, sinasabi dito na ang data is conveyed in a telecommunication circuit by means of an electrical signal that carrier wave. In order to a carrier to convey information, some form of modulation is required. The mode of modulation can be broadly categorized as either analog or digital. In analog modulation, some aspect of the carrier is varied in a continuous fashion. Ang data rin ito yung pinakakailangan ng magamit ka ng technologies na mga cellphone, computer, kinakailangan yun ng data para makasagap tayo ng information or makapag-communicate tayo sa ibang tao. And the earliest form of analog modulation was Morse code. Makikita naman dito sa screen yung mga different kinds of Morse code from A to Z. And also a broadcast network consisting of a single transmitting station and multiple receive-only station is considered a form of telecommunication. Yung mga example na ito, yung mga pag sinabing broadcast network, alam na agad natin ito. Pwede siyang through radio or pwede siyang through TV, cellphone, yung mga yun. Yung masasabi siyang broadcast network pag napapakinggan natin siya or napapanood or nagbibigay siya ng information sa mga tao.
Telecommunications and broadcasting worldwide are overseen by the International Telecommunication Union or ITU, an agency of the United Nations with headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. International Telecommunication Union or ITU are responsible for all matters related to information and communication technologies. Pinopromote ng ITU ang development of telecommunication networks and access to the telecommunication services by fostering cooperation among governments and a range of non-governmental actors. Most countries have their own agencies that enforce telecommunications regulations formulated by their governments. Karamihan sa mga bansa ay may kani-kanilang ahensya at isa na rito ang Federation Communication Commission, ahensya ng United States, at sa Pilipinas naman ay National Telecommunication Commission. While most people associate telecommunications with modern technologies, their strict definition of the term encompasses primitive and even ancient forms of telecommunication. Among these is the use of smoke signals as a kind of visual telegraph. Sa panahon natin ngayon, mabilis na tayong makipagpalitan ng mensahe dahil sa modernong teknolohiya. Ngunit noon ay napakahirap makipag-communicate. Ang ancient forms of telecommunication ay ang smoke signals kung saan ginagamit ang usok upang makapagbigay ng mensahe mula sa malayo. Ang smoke signals ay isang uri ng visual telegraph.
How to flirt with smoke signals. Some Native American tribes used smoke signals to share locations or warn of danger. You can use this communication system to secretly woo your crush. You will need a fire, grass, green sticks or wet branches, a wet blanket, and a code. Step 1. Build your fire in a high place so it is visible. Step 2. Smother the fire and create smoke by adding grass, green sticks, and wet branches to the fire. Step 3. Direct the smoke using a wet blanket. Hold the blanket over the fire and let the smoke build up under it. Remove the blanket to send up a puff. Step 4. Communicate through a code. Work out a code ahead of time with your crush, or use Morse code if both of you know it. Avoid using 3 puffs of smoke in your code, as this is often considered an alarm signal. Step 5. Say hello using your code. Step 6. Compliment your crush. Spell out, "You're cute" with the smoke signals. Keep the conversation light because you're flirting and because the smoke limits how much you can say. Step 7. Conclude your smoke signal conversation after you've gotten a good response from your crush by agreeing to meet after curfew, and you'll be in for a hot evening.
Other forms of telecommunications are arrangement of shift plugs and semaphores. It is a telegraphy system na nagbibigay information mula sa malayo by means of visual signals. A semaphore was a mechanical device set up a tower with paddle-like blades or flags. The device would be set in a specific position to communicate information. So, kailangan nasa tamang posisyon yung semaphore upang makapagbigay ng mensahe because the information is encoded by the position of semaphore. Kaya upang mas maunawaan yung impormasyon na nais nila iparating, kailangan ito ay nasa tamang posisyon. Throughout the 19th century, telecommunications devices became more sophisticated with the advent of electricity, leading to the telegraph, Morse code, and signal lamps. A signal lamp, the optical version of the telegraph, is a powerful lamp with shutters that block the light in long or short durations to translate to the dots and dashes of Morse code. A heliograph is another optical telegraph, a mirror used to reflect light to mimic a signal lamp. Throughout 19th century, nang dahil sa kuryente, mas naging sophisticado ang telecommunication devices, kaya nagkaroon ng telegraph, Morse code, and signal lamps. In the 20th century, telecommunications reached beyond our planet. In June 1969, the world watched and listened as astronauts walked on the moon. 20 years later, in August 1989, we would see pictures of Neptune arrive back from the Voyager 2 spacecraft, riding radio waves that travel over roughly 3 billion miles or 4.8 billion kilometers to reach us in a matter of a few hours. People now have multiple ways to see and hear what is occurring on the other side of the world in real time. Satellite technology, television, the internet, and telephony keep the globe connected in a humming buzz of interactive voices and pictures. In short, telecommunications have come a long way from smoke signals. So, ang mga tao ay mayroon ng maraming paraan upang makita at marinig kung ano ang nangyayari sa kabilang panig ng mundo. Ang satellite technology, television, internet at telephony ay pinapanatiling konektado ang mundo. Mula sa usok bilang signal, malayo na talaga ang narating ng telecommunications.
So, good afternoon classmates, and let's proceed to the functions of telecommunication. Telecommunications takes over the telephone, mobile devices, the internet, through the radio or electronic instrument. It simply means na ang telecommunications to devices or any systems na nagko-convey back and forth. Katulad ng pakikipag-usap ng tao, ginagamitan din ng medium ang telecommunications, including dito ang voice, video, at internet transactions. So, let's proceed to the significance computer networking. It is a web of computers transferring information back and forth. It also the one who allows the telecommunications to progress. Meaning, si significance computer networking ang nagsisilbing engineering principle ng telecommunications. Why? Because it is the one who connected the multiple computers over an extended distance. Kahit magkakalayo-layo sila, si significance computer networking ang nagkokonekta sa mga ito. At kapag wala ito, ang telecommunications would be impossible too. So according to Vinton G. Cerf, Senior Vice President of Data Services Division, siya ang isa sa mga nag-imbento ng internet. Sabi niya dito, the internet has doubled in size every year since 1988. So lumalaki ang wide connection ng internet every year and it is also the global infrastructure and one of the infrastructure to grow so rapidly in less than a decade. So let's proceed to the computer networking and the internet. On September 11, 1940, George Stibitz submit his mathematical problem using teleprinter to his complex number calculator in New York. So, ang complex number calculator na naimbento ni George Stibitz ay isa siyang machine capable of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing complex numbers. So, ma-redefine siya as literal na calculator, pero centralized computer siya. It remained popular throughout 1950s and 1960s. However, researchers started to investigate packet switching. So, anong meaning ng packet switching? Technology that allows chunks of data to be sent between 4 nodes network. So, balik tayo kay complex number calculator. Bakit nga ba siya napalitan ng packet switching? Si complex number calculator kasi ay may dalawang node lang. Anong meaning ng node? Ang node ay ang system or devices connected to a network. So, it simply means na si complex number calculator ay dalawang devices lang na nagko-convey sa isa't isa. While the packet switching, 4 na devices connected ang nagko-convey inside packet switching. Kaya naimbestigahan to ng mga researcher. So, si packet switching ay nag-emerge noong December 5, 1969, and this network soon became the ARPANET, which is the first internet which by 1981 would consist of 213 nodes. So, from 4-node network, lumaki siya ng 213 nodes. On September 1981, RFC 791 introduced the Internet Protocol version 4, or IPv4, and RFC 793 introduced the TCP Transmission Control Protocol that much of the Internet relies upon today. So, ano ba bang meaning ng TCP or IP? Ito yung nagpapagana sa Internet. In this term, TCP or IP allows one computer talk to another computer gamit ang Internet through compiling packets of data and sending them to right location. So these two popular link protocols for local area network called LAN also appeared in 1970s. So si TCP or IP hindi lang siya sumikat ngayon, kundi noong 1970s pa siya umusbong. Meron na banggit dito na ang token ring protocol at Ethernet protocol. So, si token ring protocol ay isang computer networking technology used to build local area networks. Communication protocol siya ng LAN. It is filed by Olof Söderblom on October 29, 1974, while a paper on the Ethernet protocol was published by Robert Metcalfe and David Buggs in the July 1976. So, kung i-differentiate ko si token ring protocol at Ethernet protocol, si token ring, siya yung nagbi-build ng yun yung simple na pagkaka-define sa kanya. While the Ethernet protocol, siya yung nagko-connect sa binild ni token ring. It is also the widely used method of linking computers. Yun yung tawag din sa Ethernet protocol.